first rounds. And then you had a couple of things. I think it was sprinkled in the Discord.
Oh, yeah. There was...
Well, how did our Black Friday? Have you checked? You probably haven't checked.
I have not checked how it's done. Discordia.
Oh, yeah. There's a thing about Unreal Engine 6, 2028.
Yeah, that was it.
There's the talk of Unity being a part of, I think specifically Fortnite.
Yeah.
To open up to more developers. Story, but that sounded interesting, of like Unreal and Unity.
Traditionally competitors.
Working in tandem in the same game. That's interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Ready to kick us off?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Thanks to all you gregarious garden gnomes. You've made it to episode 39, our very first in-person episode, which is kind of crazy to think it's taken us this long.
Well, we live 3.5 hours away from each other.
Well, yeah. Details. We put out a little Black Friday teaser episode.
A little supplemental.
So if you haven't checked that out, there's still time to kind of sink your teeth into all those good deals. I know I'm going to still pick up some.
Yeah. Because we're not even... So as of recording this is Saturday, November 29th. So we still have this weekend and then Cyber Monday.
Mm-hmm. And let's face it, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, it's all just one big thing now.
It is at this point. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, speaking of, have you picked up any of the deals yet?
Yeah, one for you.
A little Christmas shopping early.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yours, and then one for my brother-in-law. The other ones, people wanted much newer stuff, so they didn't have the greatest deals, but they weren't that expensive either.
Oh, that's good. So yeah, it's kind of a light news week because everybody's focused on the deals and eating turkey, and
people are off right now for the holiday.
Yeah. But there were a few items in the past week that were kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Unreal, or I should say Epic Games and Unity are teaming up in what I never saw coming.
No, me neither. This is kind of cool and bonkers. I don't know how it's going to work.
Yeah, so the two largest game engine companies are now in a partnership.
Yeah, Unity and Unreal.
So apparently you can now use Unity to make games for Fortnite.
Weird.
Yeah.
And even it sounds like utilizing their third party, like buying systems and algorithms or whatever. And Epic is allowing this? It's really...
Yeah. I think the reason or how this came about was Roblox is kind of the other platform, and then you have Fortnite. Like those are two predominantly live service, live game platforms, if you will, that both kind of allow users to create their own content and kind of exist across games. And I think Epic was probably feeling a little bit of pressure, and Unity honestly was just kind of like, how do we fit into all this? And I think it made sense from like Epic trying to grow their platform and Unity trying to get more developers. And it makes a ton of sense. I think it's really good for the community, the ecosystem. And I think Roblox is probably, I don't want to say in hot water, but I think they're starting to feel probably a little bit of pressure.
You think so?
Well, that, and they've had a bit of legal trouble as of late.
With what?
Well, anytime you have this sort of platform where you have children, you have predators.
Oh, right.
And there have been lawsuits alleging that Roblox has not done enough to protect children on their platform.
Interesting.
So that's why they're rolling out like video verification and age gating and like doing a whole bunch of stuff. But is it too little, too late?
Ooh.
TBD.
The other thing I thought about in the back of my head as I was reading and learning about this is Epic's long financial legal struggle with Apple opening the door for Epic to be able to have kind of free market, whatever, monetization. And I wonder if this is also them like forward facing that, like, hey, see, we're opening the door, do. So also like good marketing, like, ew, Apple.
Yeah, I mean, that is a very good point. I didn't even think about that. They're trying to be an open platform, welcoming everybody into their ecosystem. I think they have a really good eye on the long-term vision for what they want to achieve. I
I
mean,
wonder what that long-term vision is.
well, I think they've always had in the back of their mind they want to reach the metaverse, this kind of like open platform where everything transacts and interacts in this, I don't know, 3D world, if you will.
Mm.
Um, and I mean, they've obviously had a little bit of involvement in the VR community, and you can use Unreal to develop VR games. And I think Fortnite is kind of like the prototype for what that metaverse looks like and how people interact with it.
That's a good call, because we talked about all the concerts and how blown away I was, how you could go into Fortnite and go explore and go find a Daft Punk or Eminem concert. And I was like, that's weird, but it's, it's still within the game. But I think it correlates with what you're saying of like this metaverse.
Yeah, and they did just announce that partnership a few months ago with Disney to do basically all Disney properties, bringing it into some sort of, not necessarily Fortnite per se, but Fortnite adjacent, I think is a good way to describe it. And so you'll have basically the Disney parks in a virtual destination.
Whoa,
Of some
that's
sort.
neat.
And I think that's an awesome way to grow the properties digitally, and then also allow creators to build on top of that. I, for one, want to build
Gosh, this is like
alien games.
this would be a neat, like, you're seeing these two roads of like, absolutely, both roads are leading to like the fantasy of Ready Player One, which I think we're seeing more and more of. It's just still a very slow process, but this combo of the VR coming in and Vision Pro and like this mixed reality, and then Fortnite really like, yeah, you want to go to Disney World, but you can't go to Disney World? Well,
Because it's
here.
expensive as fucking hell.
Yeah, and like the plane and, taking off and whatever. But like you could go there in another version of virtual through Fortnite. And then if those two combined, then yeah, this is absolutely like the movie or the book of Ready Player One.
Yeah.
That's neat.
So I think the other part of this too that isn't talked about anymore as much is the whole crypto Web3 decentralized finance. And I think it's going eventually to come back around and get integrated. We're still not there yet. I think the current administration is starting to put down some pathways to the legalization of crypto, which I generally think is a positive thing. But I still think we have a long way to go for crypto to reach mainstream adoption in a way that makes sense to integrate it into Epic Games' platform.
And you're using the crypto as like a virtual funds or virtual money to then go to quote unquote Fortnite virtual Disney World or whatever.
Yeah, it's because you have all these digital games have their own in-game currency. Like you have Fortnite's Z-Bucks, F-Bucks, or whatever the hell they're called. And that's what you like, and like Battle.net for Blizzard, they have their own, every game has its own in-game currency that you have to buy with real world dollars. And it's one thing on top of another. Crypto, the kind of the fantasy idea of it is that you can just have that be a currency
for all. Gotcha.
And
I never thought of it in that way.
And you don't have to go through Visa and MasterCard and American Express and give them their 2-3% for every single transaction. There's maybe a 1/100th of a penny.
Crazy. A gamification of real nuts, man.
I know.
That's nuts.
But it's where the market's going to take it. Because,
Mhm.
I mean, you look at all these credit card transaction companies, they're effectively like a 3% tax on the entire GDP of the world. Like, everything you buy with a credit card, because let's face it, most people buy stuff with credit cards or debit cards,
Right.
they're just taking 3% off the top. And if you were to say, no, we're going to not do that anymore, then like if I'm a game maker and I'm selling stuff on the Epic Game Store or on Steam, like I have to account for that 3%.
Mhm.
And that's not nothing. Like when I do the financial modeling for the indie games that I'm working on, like I have to sell X number of more units just to basically say break even because of that 3% on top of the 12% or 20 or 30. I mean, it's not as bad as Apple taking 30%,
Right.
but it's still something to consider. And so every time you can chop away at that transactional cost, it's better for the consumer, better for developers. So I think we'll get there eventually. It's going to take another 10 years.
Neat. Speaking of Unreal, you posted on our little docket about Unreal Engine 6.
Yes. So Unreal Engine 5 has been around for a few years now. It's been doing great. They're still pumping out major releases every 6 months, six to 12 months. But Unreal Engine 6, they're targeting for late 2027, 2028 sometime. So I think this is probably going lockstep with the next generation of consoles, if you think about it.
Oh,
Because Unreal Engine 5 really debuted with the PS5 and the Xbox Series, whatever.
Yep.
So I think they're obviously in constant communication with PlayStation, with Microsoft, and obviously Nintendo to some extent. And I think they're probably going to try and roll it out, probably get into developers' hands so that they can launch some titles with those consoles using Unreal Engine 6. I mean, here's the thing. The upgrade path from 5 to 6 should be fairly straightforward. I mean, you should be able to start developing today and in a few years just transfer from 5 to 6. There might be some breaking changes. You might have to reinvent a few systems, but
like what are they going to change from 5 to 6? Do you know of?
I don't know.
Like, what was it? Persistent worlds and just new tools. That was the title. All right, never mind.
So, I mean, one of the things that they've been working on with Unreal Engine 5 is like growing the open world kind of development. And this also keeps going back to that metaverse. How do we create massive, expansive open worlds? And I think really that is kind of what they're working towards. And I think what consumers and what people want to see in their games. And you've had a few games, especially Ubisoft has really been at the forefront of a lot of this with Assassin's Creed Valhalla and a number of their games. They're really pushing the boundaries of what you can achieve with an open world environment. But I think Epic, what they've debuted with...
Was it Witcher?
Yeah, CD Projekt Red and The Witcher 4 development is just really mind-blowing next level.
Yeah.
So that's going to be...
a lot of really pretty leaves.
a lot. Billions and trillions of leaves. But that it's going to be amazing.
That'll be cool to look forward to. What else we have? You want to talk about Warner Brothers real quick? Because I think it's so funny.
Oh, yeah. So Warner Brothers has basically said they were going to go up for sale, and they're seeking potential suitors. And they told everybody that their initial bids are not enough.
And demanding
that they increase their offers.
Yeah. My God, dude. There's got to be somebody that was like, wow, we did not expect this much like enthusiasm to buy us. And now they're like a little greedy, maybe, perhaps, allegedly. But they're like, well, let's see if we can get better.
So we've talked about this previously, that they have one of the best catalogs of content.
Yeah.
So you have the DC universe. So it's really the only competitor to Marvel when it comes to that type of content. And then you have HBO and a huge backlog of fantastic Emmy award-winning shows.
It's some of the best video games too,
Yeah.
as far as like Mortal Kombat or Arkham,
I really question if they own
NetherRealm.
Mortal Kombat, because I think NetherRealm might still be independent.
Okay.
But they've just been publishing with or through Warner Brothers for forever, it
Right.
seems. But regardless, there's a huge catalog, but I think people are starting to be wary of these catalog plays because you might have a huge catalog, but is that what is driving subscribers to these streaming services, or is it the new content that attracts people? And I think you look at Apple, they don't have a backlog
No,
or a back catalog of content.
no, it's all brand new stuff.
It's all brand new, it's all original,
Mhm.
and they've done a fantastic job
Mhm.
of growing their subscribers and kind of just investing in high quality content. And Netflix, they're like, we don't need to buy anything. We're just going to spend billions and billions of dollars and build our own catalog. And so I think Warner Brothers, they're might be a little too cocky in overvaluing their catalog of content. It is great, but when most of the world has already seen all your shit, like, can you really charge a premium
Yeah.
at that rate?
I wonder too, this is a flip side. It's maybe another path to think about too. And this is more on the consumer end of, or, Hollywood itself. We've talked about it, where you're seeing Netflix do these little short runs at theaters. However, I don't think they care. It's just like,
It's mostly just to,
I think it's more marketing than anything.
well, marketing, but also in order to be considered for the major awards shows, the Academy Awards, you have to have a theater
Something.
run
Yeah.
of some, like, even if it's only in three theaters.
Yeah, yeah. A few theaters for a few days.
Yeah.
Which is bonkers. Very short, limited runs. And so and I've talked about it. It's still one of my little fears if Netflix purchases a Hollywood studio. What will happen in that regard as far as cinema and theatrical? I know theatrical's already, it's going down. It's losing money. However, we're still talking about Predator Badlands, and you going to see it at a theater and loving it, and me wanting to go to a theater to see this. When Doomsday comes out, I'm going to the theater. Probably, if anything, it'll probably be the four of us. Yeah,
Yeah,
like we
totally.
did for Avengers Affinity and Endgame and all that. So there's still some specialness, and especially for Hollywood, that's a bit of their bread and butter, but B, that is their, like us, creative for video work here for YouTube and podcasts and video games. There's still that part of the feeling of like then letting your creation out to the world, where I don't know how Netflix is going to handle it. And I know people have asked Netflix and they've been kind of hush about it. So
I think Netflix has done a really good job keeping their eye on the prize, being very metrics driven. They understand their business. They know what it takes to grow it. And honestly, I don't think they have the appetite to get involved with all the creative Hollywood accounting
no,
that happens
I agree.
around all these major blockbusters and all the marketing. And
that's good and bad.
yeah. And I think in their mission to entertain the world, I think they're realizing that gaming is the next logical step. And that's why they're spending so much money trying to go after it with mixed success.
I think to add to that, a yes and is there's no bloat to it. There's no fluff to it. There's no extra whatever they have to. Like, we talked about it. They're basically making different versions of like Jackbox. Super easy, super simple. We're not even giving you controllers. Use your phones. So not a lot of extra wasted financials that they have to put into it. So very smart, very smart, streamlined, straight to the point. I was watching somebody and they did make a joke. They were like, now Paramount, because they live in Hollywood, these folks, and they were like, if Paramount bought Warner Brothers, they could just build a sky bridge. Because I guess the two studios are right next to each
Just
other.
across the street, yeah. They probably would do that. I wouldn't. Yeah.
Such a stupid side note, but I had to bring that up. I thought that was funny and kind of cute.
So I like this segue into gaming because I did want to take a second to talk about EA. And a lot of reports have come out that they are pushing very hard to adopt AI tools to fuel effectively the company's growth, productivity, and all this. And I think they're hitting some road bumps, if
Oh,
you will, in the adoption. And it's like AI is good for some things, but it only gets you maybe 80-90% of the way there, and there's still that 10% that you need people for. And I think it may be a little bit short-sighted from the investors expecting that they can just replace the entire business with AI.
so is there more context behind this?
It just more anecdotal things that have come out from the studio closures, some firings, layoffs, and then also some job postings that I've seen for companies like Stability AI that like they're hiring specifically to enhance their partnership capabilities with EA. Like it's in the job posting itself. So it's interesting. Like that kind of tells you where EA is headed, that they're really doubling down on the adoption of these AI tools to grow their capabilities. But
This has to come after they've been what, acquired by
after going private, yeah,
to
by
the
the
Saudi Arabia.
Saudis and
Yeah.
Jared Kushner and
S- So replacing their staff with then other staff that will create AI, and then what? Do those staff members then go away once the AI tool has been fully built, or
yeah, TBD. I mean, I think that's the idea is that you just want to have the entire business run by AI, and I think that's
I like AI as an assistive tool. We use chat and all that. Use it in some video editing. I like, that machine learning AI assistive, but when it starts replacing people, like I mentioned, gets replaced like recruiters. So the AI looks at your resume and then will make the phone call as a AI person to do your first phone screen before then moving to potentially your future boss. Just creepy. I'm not a big fan of it.
no, and you know, the, it's creating a problem as well as solving some.
Yes. Yeah.
So you look at the job market today, and I've seen reports that the number of applications companies are receiving have increased by 10 to 100 fold.
Yeah, you did mention that. And why was the reasoning, or what was the reasoning behind that?
Well, it's
Because they're creating AI resumes.
yeah, you can use AI to custom tailor your resume to a specific posting.
Yeah.
And so you can apply for so many more jobs, and people are applying for more jobs, and people are now using AI to sort through all the resumes, and it's basically AI feeding itself
Yeah,
in
yeah.
some ways. And
I
it's
didn't think about that. Like the people looking for a job are using AI to maybe a huge extent. And so then the other side, they're using AI to like filter through the AI. AI.
It's like it kind of you end up in this weird state where AI is doing a lot of stuff, but nothing's actually getting done
Yeah.
because it's just
Weird.
this whole circular environment. And I'm wondering if maybe that's kind of a death spiral that EA finds itself in. Is that like EA is doing all this stuff and they're spending so much money on compute, and then the end product, because it's not touched by humans who have taste, maybe it ends up falling flat. Or maybe they have birthed an incredible golden goose and it'll make them trillions of dollars. We'll see.
I don't know. They're already one of the biggest publishers and developers of video games, and they've carved out their own niche, especially when it comes to like sports and racing and FPS. So I don't know. I would love to try to do more research and learn a little bit more of the why and what they're thinking of the next 5 years will be projected as, in their heads.
So, I mean, you take a step back, you look at EA and what their successful catalog of games is, and a lot of it is annual recurring releases of sports franchises. You have Madden, you have MLB The Show. I think they have the Tiger Woods golf game, and like they have a new game every year. And now they've also piled on and they're creating microtransaction content and their season passes for all that stuff. And I think AI, it's too many fucking two-letter acronyms.
Totally is.
I think AI can do a really good job at creating that bite-size kind of microtransactional content. Because, I mean, it's pretty formulaic. But when it comes to big open-world games and these heroic campaigns, I don't think they're going to be able to replace the existing studios anytime soon with that. So I think maybe we see EA double down on kind of their bread and butter, which is those sports franchises, and they just let the...
Do they still have the contract? Because they had a contract, and then it got extended. But they had a contract with Disney to do different Star Wars. Is that contract still?
I believe it's still valid. I don't think that's changed at all.
Because they did Outlaws.
No, that was Ubisoft.
Oh, that was Ubisoft.
Yeah.
That was Ubisoft that did Outlaws, which was good. It is good. I mean, we talked about it on our Black Friday.
And I'm still going to pick it up.
Yeah, I really want to. Not now, because Metroid Prime Beyond.
I mean, if I get it for Switch, I can just give it to you when I'm done.
I know. Yeah.
TBD. But yeah, so they're still working on EA games. I mean, they've done the Battlefront games for a few decades.
That's right.
But yeah,
who does Battlefield?
EA,
that's the one that's doing really well right now. 6.
Yeah, they sold 7 million copies in 3 days.
Outdoing Call of Duty.
Well, Call of Duty hasn't. Well, I think Call of Duty just launched.
But it's not. I guess the initial it's not doing very well either. And I've heard from 2 different sources. It's either sources that I've looked up online that either because this was a year normally, and it's the same company that did it, so everybody was very surprised that usually it's a different studio every year that does a Call of Duty. But this was the first time in a long time that the same studio did the last year's Call of Duty and is pushing out this Call of Duty. So there may be some like lackluster type things. But the other flip that I've heard more of is this new Battlefield 6. It's like people are really into it. And I think there was a poll on IGN where they asked, and like 30%, 1/3 of the Call of Duty people were not playing Call of Duty. They were playing Battlefield 6. So
that's surprising. Like, it hasn't gotten great reviews, but honestly, I think it's about time for them to get bored of Call of Duty.
That's probably what it is too, right?
It's like, how many times can you play the same formulaic deathmatch?
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how stuff unfolds over the holiday period and which comes out ahead.
It'll be interesting to see where EA continues to go or how they're going to go. I'd like to keep following that.
Yeah.
We're always talking about AI in this podcast, so haha. Oh, Stranger Things. Dude, before we end.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't have a whole lot else to say.
Yeah.
But you fell asleep. But we made it to episode 4 of 5 episodes.
There's only 4 right now.
There's only 4?
Yeah.
Feels like more than that. But we made it through 1, 2, and 3. You haven't made it all through 3 because post Friendsgiving yesterday.
Yeah.
But what do you think so far?
I'm really digging it. It's it feels different and refreshing compared to the previous seasons. Because I mean, we're getting right into it. There's no build up.
No,
really, it's kind of just full throttle from the get go, which is nice because I mean, you've had half a decade building up to this moment, really, and the characters have all matured, and I think
that was one of my fears. I think of a lot of people like, wow, these kids are no longer kids. Like some of them now have children. I think I made a joke on an episode about that. It feels perfect. Like they're writing for each of their characters and what's going on for each of the characters at this point. in Hawkins and the Army and all that. That was, previewed in season 4. This is really good.
Yeah, the world building has really kind of, I think, stepped out in front.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
it feels tangible, and I think that's what you're looking for in really good sci-fi and fantasy.
Yeah, and the development, like they really took what were key elements for each of the characters, good and bad, what happened to them, and like Dustin is probably my number one. How he as a character has really, I don't know if evolved, but maybe evolved due to previous things that happened in season 4 in the end. So it's interesting to watch his character and how he's acting along with everybody else.
Yeah.
And some of the trauma. Elle, no spoiler, I'm just saying, she's been practicing with her abilities, and just to see what she was doing practicing with her abilities was like Marvel DC level of superhero shit. I was really impressed.
Yeah, it might even just be her audition for something in the MCU.
Mhm.
I have to imagine they'll pick her up for something.
That's interesting. I didn't think about that.
In
But
the
yeah,
near
you're totally
future.
right, man. Yeah. Without a spoiler, I'm just going to hint to something, and it is the wall. And I'm just going to leave it at that. And also be like, what the fuck? Which is exactly how they're portraying it right now.
Yeah.
But folks, when you get to that episode, comment and also be like, what is this?
So yeah, episode 4 is out, and we gotta wait till Christmas now.
Yeah, is it? No,
Yeah,
it's December 25th.
Christmas.
So at least they did this the day before Thanksgiving. I thought that was smart. So like you, Rachel, and Katie and I were able to like watch a couple of episodes before the Thanksgiving, hoopla happened. And then last night, day after Thanksgiving, we were able to get together and watch an episode. I was kind of hoping, because Christmas is even crazier, I feel like, for family get-togethers, like do the same thing. Start on the 23rd, will you?
Yeah.
But they're like, no, let's do it on Christmas, because that's what I want to do, is open presents with my family and then watch Stranger Things.
Well, I mean,
Come on, kids, let's sit down.
I think they're actually thinking about it that way, that get the family together, have everybody watch Stranger Things.
I suppose, man. I guess you're right. So Katie told me the next day. So we watched that night, and I started to fall asleep, like I told you in the text. We watched episode 1 and 2. And she said the next day, when we were driving up to see my parents, she goes, do you know Netflix crashed? Because so many people jumped on Netflix to watch it. And Netflix couldn't keep up with the amount of people who bombarded the streaming service.
Which, that is wild.
That is very positive. Extremely positive.
So it'll be interesting to see where Netflix goes after this, because, I mean, the Duffer brothers, they're moving on to bigger and better things.
Yeah, they're moving.
Not with Netflix. Was it Paramount?
Maybe, yeah.
Anyway, so I like Stranger Things has been fantastic, because originally they picked it up for 1 season. Duffer Brothers, It was they said they would do 3. They
Right.
had written out to 3. Netflix was like, no, we want 5. And so this is one of those few instances where a show gets extended past the intended
season 1, the first.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was supposed to be just that one limited. They had a tight story,
and they've managed to make it fantastic.
Yeah.
All the way through.
I'm really impressed.
So that does not happen often. And I think Netflix is going to be not necessarily scrambling, but they're going to be looking for their next magnum opus to drive growth into the latter half of the 2020s.
That's funny. That's what I think I had mentioned this, that if they did get, going back to Warner Brothers, because Warner Brothers / HBO is making a new Hogwarts show, TV series, not a movie. to be a lot more aligned with the books. So showing, like, if anybody remembers the witch, the statue witch, which you could move the statue, and there was a secret tunnel to then get to Hogsmeade, I think. So that happened a lot sooner in the books for Harry, who had to sneak out constantly because he was always being watched, or, it's too dangerous, or you don't have parent approval. And so little things like that they're going to really flesh out more. But that will be a multi-year, multi-season thing. And that could, again, be the next. So that's probably why Netflix is also like, maybe scrambling to be like, Warner Brothers, that could, we would love, because Stranger Things is about to be out, so how it works is about to be on.
But I hear Netflix is not in the bidding for the Warner Brothers.
Not anymore? They were.
Oh.
Haha.
TBD.
Yeah. After the first round of bids, which came from companies like Paramount, Comcast, and Netflix,
okay,
Warner Brothers stated that the offers were too low and has moved to a second round of bidding. Oh, God. Anyway, sorry. Full circle. What do you think of this whole in-person thing, man? We're sitting here with our cute little gray chairs and drinking our coffee at 11:52 Michigan time.
I love it. I wish we could do it more often.
Yeah, same.
But if you move to Colorado, it's going to make it a lot harder.
I mean, you do have family out there.
This is true.
I don't not,
I'll just fly back every week.
I mean, maybe this is a once-a-year thing or a twice-a-year thing.
Yeah.
Like, I got to figure out a way to come back here for either Midsommar or to see my family, and my family's 2.5 hours away from you.
So that's true.
So, yeah. But this was great, man. This was lovely.
Yeah. I'm glad we got to do it.
I felt very chill.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got to, share new stuff that we've learned with the rest of the folks.
Exactly.
And we got to use these cool wireless mics.
Yeah.
What up, little guy?
This is probably the first and last in-person pod in this room. I'm taking this. I'm going to move it down to the basement.
Oh, okay. God, it's so dramatic.
But
has the camera moved? Oh, that's cute.
Oh, yeah. It's just looking at her crotches now.
Hey, that's lovely. That's awesome.
So thank you for tuning in, everybody. This is episode 39 of the Geekoid podcast. So like, subscribe, newsletter coming next Friday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
And yeah, we're just looking forward to bringing you some more great content.
Don't be a squeaker, be a geeker.
I'm going to put that on a t-shirt. All right. Thank you all. We love you. Adios.
Peace out.
End of transmission.